Hey YouTube, this is Valerie with Money Mindset Coach. Um, I am a lady in her 60s, divorced after a long-term marriage, been a real estate agent, been a hairdresser, been a lot of things, mother, grandmother. I just have a lot to share. I'm a minimalist, at least I try to be. Uh, I try to be frugal, and um, I try to save money. I am completely out of debt except for my house. I only owe like $52,000 on my house, so I don't owe very much. And I'm working on that. But anyway, my video today, I'm trying to actually write down what I'm going to talk about because I can tend to ramble and I go too far or I go too long, and I don't want to do that. First of all, get this out of the way. I am doing a no buying clothes for the year 2024. If you've seen my other videos, I talk about this. So basically, every time I do a video, I'm wearing something different. And I'm going to tell you what the brand name is and where I got it. Mostly I do that because most of everything that I have I got at a thrift store. So I didn't pay very much for it. And I am trying to show all of you, if you haven't gone to a thrift store yet and you've never done that, what incredible things you can get there. And I am living proof of that. So anyway, before we get too far, I know this probably looks backwards, but this is the North Face. Y'all know how expensive the North Face is. Well, I found this at the thrift store. It's kind of a sweatshirt. It's got the little thingy here, which I kind of like. It's pink. Got a little orange here. Um, you know, I got it 30% off because Tuesdays it's 30% off if you're 55 and over, and that's the only time that I go. That's my frugal rule. So anyway, that's what I'm wearing today. I did get it at the thrift store. I've had it for a year or two. Don't tend to wear it that much, but I'm wearing it today. So anyway, today's video is going to be basically how I lowered my bills and increased my income. Number one thing is I get rid of cable. I was spending $89 a month, and I had like a 2-year contract. So when the contract came up, and actually I could have done it sooner, but dumb me, I didn't ask them what the fee was to terminate early. Turned out it wasn't that much. It would have been worth it with paying $89 a month. I thought they were going to charge me $150 or something. And I forget how much it was, but it was like $10 or $15. It was some dumb thing like that. So I would have done it sooner, obviously. But that was $89 a month. So that was $89 more dollars in my budget for the month. The next thing I did was I switched to internet. I had internet for 4 years. I've been here almost 5 years. I had this one particular internet for 4 years, and I think I had a deal with them, a special $85 a month. And then in January, when I went to pay my bill, all of a sudden they were wanting 102. And so I called them and I said, I'm sorry, but I've been paying $85 for 4 years. Why is it all of a sudden 102? And they were like, oh, well, that was a special that you had and now you don't have it. And I said, well, I want it again or I'm going somewhere. And I was on the phone for 40 minutes with this woman, and she kept saying their system was down or something like that. And she couldn't give me the deal because I was ready to keep going with them because I'd been happy with them. And I'm thinking, okay, but I'm not going to 102. And she said, someone will call you within 48 hours to you know, once we have this problem fixed, they'll call you back within 48 hours. Well, the only thing I got within the next 48 hours was a call wanting to know the quality of the call that I had and the person that I talked to. That's all they wanted to know. They didn't say anything. And so I thought, okay, this is good. They're not getting back to me. I'm going to start looking around. And I had another internet company, which was new in my area, that had sent me something a few months before. And I just kind of ignored it because I was happy with what I had, you know. And a lot of times, you know, that you might have to pay for installation or something. You know, I just didn't know. And I didn't want to go through the mess of changing. And a lot of times we do that. We just don't want to go through the changing that we're going to have to do. But it will save you money. So anyway, I called them. And they're like, oh, yeah. I ended up getting faster internet with them for $59 a month. And then it was free installation. And after 3 consecutive months of on-time payments, they would send me a $200 gift card. Well, there's no way that I am going to say no to that. So they came out within a week. After they set it up, I called my other internet company and said to them, I'm sorry, but nobody got back to me. And I found internet with another company that's $59. Thank you very much. And the thing that got me is they didn't even, especially because I already had it. Now, if I hadn't had it, they probably would have tried to talk me into, they would have lowered it. They would have tried everything to keep me. But because I already had it and already had it installed, they knew, okay, not going to get anywhere here. So that was $59, down from what would have been $102. And then the other thing that I did was, after I did my taxes in February, I realized it was the second year in a row that I did my taxes, and I ended up getting all the taxes that I had paid from my Social Security. I didn't want to just take my Social Security and not have taxes taken out because I wasn't sure, you know. I don't like to owe. I don't even want to go there. So on the safe side, I had them take out taxes. Well, as it turned out, they were taking out 22%. It's like, that's dumb. I don't even know why I went with 22%. That's crazy. But anyway, for the last 2 years when I've done my taxes, I would get all that money back. So it started me to thinking, and I'm thinking, well, I am very on top of my money. I know exactly where every dollar is going, and I'm very on top of my money and the money that comes in and the money that's going out. And so I thought to myself, I'm like, you know what? I need to call Social Security and find out how I can not have taxes taken out anymore. I didn't know how to go about that. So I called Social Security, and it was on a Friday. It was near the end of the day. I was on the phone on hold for probably 45 minutes. It got really annoying. The music they play, and especially on your phone, it sounds terrible. It wasn't fun being on hold, but I finally got a hold of them. And I was talking to this lady, and I told her what I wanted to do. And she said, well, we'll have to, I guess she could have sent me a thing where I could have downloaded it or something. But I said, no, just send it in the mail. You know, send it in the mail. I'll fill it out and then I'll send it back. So I did that. And as it turned out, I am going from $781 a month to $1,000 a month. And basically how my Social Security works, because I'm divorced, And for any of you divorced ladies who, I think you have to be married to your husband for 10 years or more to get this, and you have to be over, if you have to be 60, I think. uh, Basically what they did was they looked at what I would be getting every month just on me, and then they took what he would be getting right now if he were taking it, and they give me half of that. So what they do is they take what I have and then they look at what he makes, and they just make sure that what I'm getting is half of what his Social Security would be if he were getting it every month right now. So I guess he's getting 2,000, I guess, or he would be. So I get 1,000. So there's no taxes taken out of that. So I upped my income. That's a good thing. And then at the beginning of the year, they did the escrow analysis on my house, and it turned out that there was a surplus, so my mortgage payment went down. So my mortgage payment, I have a really low mortgage payment. Now, part of the reason that I have a low mortgage payment is I didn't buy an expensive house. I have an interest rate that I think is 3.75, which is really good considering what they are now. I bought it at a good time. I actually refinanced after I bought my house, so I got it a little lower. But yeah, my mortgage payment before it got lowered was $615 a month. That is that is my payment, my interest, my insurance, and what's the other thing? The homeowners. It's everything. Yeah. It's interest, principal, interest, insurance, and principal insurance. God, why am I drawing a blank on this? But it's everything. It's everything that goes into your payment. And so anyway, I have a low payment anyway. So anyway, it went down to $572 a month. So basically, what I'm telling you is, and I have this written down. Okay, actually forgot to add it all up. I was going through this when I was figuring out what I was going to talk about today, and I totally forgot to add up. Okay, so it's $89. Oops, 89, 43, 219, and 43 equals. Okay, $394. I have changed my monthly budget just by those four things. $89 was the cable, so I don't have that anymore. $43. I'm basically I said 43 because I'm paying $43 less than what I would have been paying if I would have gone with the higher amount. Social Security is the big one. $219 more dollars that's coming every month because I'm not having taxes taken out of that. And then $43 lower on my mortgage. So that changes my budget entirely. So anyway, that's what I had to say today. You can lower your bills, and you can increase your income. The other thing that I did, and I'll just throw this in there, I have certain days that I work at the kitchen boutique where I work. Part of what I do to increase my income, and my bosses, usually it's a really small store. When I'm there by myself, and run the store. It's not a big store, so you don't need a ton of people. It's not like Walmart or anything like that. But what I do is basically I'm out of all the employees besides my two bosses, and they work some days, and they have another business besides. They have a bed and breakfast too. But basically, what I do is when they need me, and they will come to me and ask me if they have extra hours and they need me. They're going out of town right now. They're in New York City, and I worked extra last week. I'm working extra this week. And so basically, if they need me and they're asking me, I say sure. I will not say no unless there's a very good reason for me not to work and to make that extra money. Now, I have to say, the register that we have is the Square system. And this last week, I had two different times where somebody bought something, and we have some alcohol that we sell there, so we do some sampling. And I used to work at a winery, so I kind of like doing that. But I think I must have helped them find something, or I did a sampling tasting with them. It was more than just running the register when they bought something, because I don't really agree with that. It's like if you're running a register, you don't need somebody to really tip you. I don't expect that. But if I have helped them find something, giving them help or advice, my experience with the product, that kind of thing. If I'm really helping them or I'm doing a tasting with them, sure, they can tip me, but I don't even expect it then. So there were two different times this last week where one person tipped me $17 on top of their bill, and then there was somebody else who tipped me 15. I was just I was so appreciative of that. That was so nice. Because what does that do for me? That just adds to my income. So I was very happy. And it just thrilled me that they thought enough of my service and how much I was helping them that they would tip me like that. I mean, I'll get tips, $1, $2, $5, but that's a big one. That's a big one. I gotta tell you, the biggest tip I ever got was when I was working at the winery, and there was a guy there. It was a very busy day. And at the end of the day, he tipped me $56. And he looked at me and he said, "Is that enough?" And I was like, "What works for me?" It's like, whoa. I was amazed. And so, yeah, that I made really good tips at the winery. I miss that place. But I got to tell you, my bosses that I work for now were customers at the winery. And the winery was sold. The family that owned it moved on to other things and wanted to sell. So my bosses were good customers out there, and they knew me from there. And so that's how I got my next job. So you just never know how those things are going to work out. And they're awesome. They're like the best. They're the best bosses in the world. I mean, I loved the family that I worked for at the winery. That I was very happy there. They were fabulous. But Chad and Mike, if you're listening, I don't know if you're going to be watching this. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about my YouTube channel so you can see this. But anyway, they're just they're just fabulous. I remember it's a small kitchen boutique store, so there's lots of product that comes in, and they will bring product in that I put prices on, and then I have to find a place for it. And when I first started doing that, I thought, okay, this is your store. I'll put it where I think it goes. But I wasn't going to be upset if when I came into work the next time and it wasn't there and they had moved it. It's their store. They can do whatever they want with it. And I would come in and it would still be where I put it. And that was so cool. I was like, oh, they must have liked where I put it. And I have moved stuff around and literally maybe sold it that day, which is exciting to me. I was in real estate for a long time, but I gotta tell you, especially existing, I just don't think that it didn't move fast enough for me. I was the kind of person to where I would have liked to have sold one house a week. That I would have been so happy. But, it was just, it would be a long time before that house closed. There was a lot that had to happen before that would happen. And that's a whole nother video of real estate and what I loved about it, what I didn't love about it, and I'll talk about that another time. But going into the kitchen boutique store, it's like, wow, people are just buying stuff. It's so much fun. It is so much fun. And I positively love it. I love talking to everybody that comes in. And we have a lot of local people that come in there, but we have a lot of people this is a tourist town in wine country, and we have a lot of people that come here. And so we have people from all over. And it's so neat to talk to people, and I just positively love it. I love selling stuff, but I like talking to everybody too. So, anyway, that's all I have for today. Just saying, hey, how can you increase your income? How can you lower your bills? At the beginning of the year, a lot of times they're talking about car insurance going up and looking around for new car insurance. My insurance hasn't done that, so I haven't looked. I have a wonderful real estate agent or insurance agent that I really, really like. And so that hasn't happened to me, but don't just keep what you have. If that price is going up, look around, because that sends a message to the company that has raised their price. It's you telling them that's not okay. And I'm going to look around and see if I can find something better. They think a lot of people are just going to stick with what they have and keep paying the higher price. But you don't have to do that. So anyway, that's all for today. Use it up, wear it out, make it do without. Till next time. Bye.